Two kids get infected with a zombie virus and lead an investigation to prove government is behind it. The film opens with the narration of our lead, Cassandra, revealing how a small covert agency called the Necrotic Control Division, short for NCD, has emerged to secretly contain a zombie virus that has outspread in their country through intercourse. Cassandra happens to be a part of NCD because of her psychedelic powers to track the zombies, which they call necrotics. The scenes then shift to a careless boy named Jake, who's having a naughty dream about his high school's crush named Amanda. Jake is woken up by his sister and his father, who lecture him on failing the career aptitude test, but it doesn't impact him. He gets ready and goes to school, where he secretly watches Amanda in the locker room. When Amanda's boyfriend, Chaz, catches Jake staring at her, he runs to bully him, but Amanda pushes him away and helps Jake unlock his jammed locker. Up next, Jake and his friends are shown a movie about the consequences of having unsafe intercourse in their class. Jake is high on weed, so he sees himself in the movie having unsafe intercourse with a chick he actually had unsafe intercourse with a few days ago. The movie gets gruesome and gross when the warning message shows alive maggots in the man's crotch circling around. The class is dismissed after this. Jake joins his friends in the cafeteria, now worried about what he's done. In a near distance, Amanda turns into a zombie and starts devouring her friends. As chaos ensues, Jake also turns into a zombie and devours his friends. Once done, the two flee from their school together. The scenes switch to Cassandra, who shows up at the abandoned cafeteria with her assigned partner, Tom, who does the tackling part. Amanda picks up the dead cheerleader's phone and uses her powers to get inside her head to unlock her last memories, through which she discovers Jake. Luckily, she finds Jake's bag and retrieves his pen vape from there. She goes inside Jake's head, which she strangely finds pleasant, but keeps it to herself. She uses the pen to track Jake's current location. Meanwhile, Jake wakes up in a parking lot with Amanda lurking over his head, panicking on what they've done. Jake is convinced he's become a zombie, but Amanda contradicts him and reveals that her brother believes there's a zombie outbreak, which she finds stupid. The two decide to steal a car and leave, but Tom and Cassandra run them over in their car. Jake comes out and tries to ration with Tom, but he shoots him right away, which does nothing but puncture a hole in his chest. Amanda ambushes Tom from behind, so Cassandra honks the car to get her attention. Amanda attacks Cassandra in her car, but Tom subdues her. Jake also turns into a zombie and goes after them, but before that, he stops by to check up on Cassandra and asks if she's doing okay. Simultaneously, two girls show up in their car and take Amanda and Jake with them. This new epiphany about Jake talking to her changes Cassandra's perspectives on narcotics, and she later tries to explain this to Tom in the NCD base while getting her bitten ankle bandaged. Tom becomes offended and reminds Cassandra what the narcotics are capable of. On the other hand, Jake awakens on a couch in a room full of caged rodents. He spots Amanda, changing her shirt. Jake becomes ecstatic when he finds out the zombie virus has healed his punctured chest. The girls, who rescued them, show up with a crossbow and introduce themselves as Summer and Grace, who've also been manipulated by the zombie virus. Summer gives Jake a fresh pair of clothes to clean himself up, while Grace reveals how she found them on her scanner and rescued them from the NCD, while revealing the main gist of what NCD is and what it does to zombies like them. Amanda freaks out on hearing the word zombies because she didn't believe they existed up until now. Summer and Grace offer them to stay for the night and suppress their hunger by eating rodents until the morning. Back in the NCD, Tom brings witnesses from the cafeteria incident to Cassandra so she can pick their brains to track Jake and Amanda, who are currently disappointed to see the news covering up the incident by lying and telling the public Jake and Amanda were mass shooters who shot everyone in their school and escaped, but are now caught and under police custody. On the other hand, Chaz is brought next for brain picking, but he turns into a zombie, causing Cassandra a great headache. He tries to bite Tom, but she shows a new set of skills and subdues Chaz with her powers and feints immediately. When she regains consciousness, she finds Alistair, a guy everyone in the NCD finds creepy, lurking over her head. He praises Cassandra's early developed skills to manipulate people's cognitive abilities and gives her Jake's book to find his whereabouts. She catches Jake and Amanda eating a rodent and dancing, but she lies to Alistair about not seeing anything. The next morning, Summer tells the kids how she first met Grace near the Iowa border because they were promised a cure there, but all they found was zombies attacking other zombie groups. On Cassandra's side, she is taken to Jake's house to track him by touching his items. Summer and Grace are nice people, so they capture bad guys to eat when their hunger is no longer suppressed by animals. This time, they devour a pedophile, served on their table like food. Alistair brings Cassandra to a place where he reveals how he's captured and trained Chaz to be his pet by transfusing his blood into Chaz's. There, he brings Jake's innocent sister and controls her mind in order to bring her closer to the violent Chaz to blackmail Cassandra. Cassandra immediately spills Jake's location to save his sister. Meanwhile, Amanda tries to convince Jake to find her brother, who may know about the cure because he surely was updated on the zombie virus. Contrary to her, Jake has convinced himself there's never a cure to the zombie virus after watching too many zombie films. Hence, Amanda decides to leave without him. At the same time, Tom and Cassandra are heading to their location with a backup team. She doesn't want Jake to be caught, so she uses his toy to appear in his mirror reflection and warns him to run away. Summer and Grace try to run away from the NCD, but Tom blows Summer's head with his gun. The backup team immediately contains Grace and takes her away on Alistair's orders. Jake and Amanda are seen hitting the road with a list of sex offenders to feast on, provided by Summer and Grace. Back in the house, Cassandra finally reveals to Tom she doesn't want Jake to be caught and tries to point out what they're doing might be wrong, but Tom is convinced otherwise. Back on the road, Amanda confirms she got the virus from Chaz and bonds with Jake, who makes her laugh constantly. The two decide to get on the list and start hunting the bad people down. By the end of the day, they decide to smoke weed and get high, which Cassandra sees using Jake's toy and gets jealous. When Jake tries to get romantic with Amanda, Cassandra makes him puke blood all over Amanda, which breaks apart the two of them. On their way, a man constantly honks behind their car, which agitates them and causes them to devour him. When the NCD shows up at the site, Cassandra gets emotional to see the dead man's wife crying, and agrees to find Jake only if Tom will save him from becoming Alistair's pet. As she leads the NCD, Amanda and Jake reach Kyle's house. He welcomes them and reveals he already suspected them to be infected after watching the suspicious news. He shows them the video of a man who claims to be having a cure. That night, Jake and Amanda share a bed, which leads them to be intimate. The NCD shows outside their house. Alistair stops Tom and sends his pet, Chaz, to see if he's capable of helping them. Instead, Chaz gets caught by Amanda and Jake. They realize the NCD is outside waiting for them, but Kyle shows up and assures he has enough ammo to take down the NCD. Unfortunately, he gets shot for standing near the window, so they distract the NCD by throwing out Chaz and running from the back. Tom shoots Amanda, but Cassandra stops him from shooting Jake, which allows Amanda to bite Tom's neck and kill him. Luckily, he electrocutes Amanda before dying and has her captured by his team while Jake runs in the wild. Alistair traps Amanda and forces Cassandra to lead him to Jake by controlling her mind and inflicting pain on her. Kyle wakes up lying on the floor and stabs Alistair's ankle with his knife, which allows Cassandra to run away. She bumps into Jake in the wild and leads him back to the house, only to find Amanda taken away by the NCD. When Jake is hell-bent on finding Amanda, she decides to help him out of her pure love for Jake. She reveals her powers and asks Jake if he possesses anything Amanda recently touched. He pulls out her bra from his pocket, which allows Cassandra to find her. On their way, Cassandra has fun connecting with Jake, but soon they stop by the facility where she's seen Amanda. She uses her powers to trick the guard into believing Jake is Alistair and walks inside the facility, which turns out to be an experimentation lab where they've captured zombies, including Grace and Amanda. They free Amanda and try to run away, but spot the guards marching towards them. They stay inside, but Alistair spawns out of nowhere with Chaz. Cassandra uses her powers to make Chaz go berserk on Alistair and escapes with Jake and Amanda. Amanda is furious at Cassandra for being a part of the NCD and refuses to take her help, but after seeing her true powers, Jake convinces Amanda to let Cassandra in on their team. As they make their way to Iowa to find the old man with the cure, they accidentally hit someone with their car. When they walk out to see what they've done, the runover girl turns out to be Mazzy, the one who infected Jake. As Mazzy calls more of her friends zombies hiding in the bushes by the roadside, the film ends. I hope you liked the story recap. Don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel. Thank you for watching and see you next time. Thank you for being a part of Black's Movie Recaps. If these tales of mystery and intrigue sent shivers down your spine, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to Black's Movie Recap for more bone-chilling narratives. Stay tuned, and until next time, stay captivated.